What's up, everybody? This is Devin White, linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're listening to the LCC Network. Go Bucks.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Commissioners Clubhouse and the LCC Network for week 26 of the fantasy offseason. We're leading right into the offseason waiver wire, and we've got another great episode for you guys. What's going on, Isaac?
Not much. I'm back from Puerto Rico, engaged, ready to talk about some fantasy football.
Wait, you got engaged? No, I'm just kidding.
Surprise!
Well, no, there's some people in the league that probably don't know that, so.
Yeah. Surprise, I'm engaged.
Isaac's tied down just like the rest of us. Congrats, man.
Not fully tied down. I got lassoed. I haven't got yanked in yet.
Oh, that's true. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited, especially if the wedding's in Ecuador. I'm super excited to go, assuming that I'm invited. Just assuming.
Yeah. Just play your cards right.
You're
You might get a back row invite.
The host of the co-host on the podcast doesn't get invited. That's cool. Hey guys. So this is a free ball episode, so we don't have anything.
You got all the intro, Jameson.
I didn't get any of it. Patrick said, "Hey Isaac, what's up?"
Yeah, I know.
So,
well, you just started talking, so I was like, "Well, there's no point now." You know what I mean?
So, guys, you probably heard Devin White, introducing the show. That was really cool. I hope you guys like that. I want to thank Devin White for that, even though he's not listening. And we'll probably have
shout out Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Shout out. That was very, very cool. Super excited. I sent that to you guys, and I think you guys enjoyed it too earlier this week. I couldn't hold it. I wanted to tell people, but I'm glad they got to see it here. We should have some other guys in the NFL doing some of these for us soon. Maybe in the off season and through the regular season. Hopefully, we're trying to lock that up. So we'll keep you updated. And guys, I don't have anything planned. I mean, this is just complete free balling. And
that's the way I like it, and the way she likes it.
God, one thing I do want to address before. So Isaac has something he wants to talk about. Real quickly, I saw this again this week, and it really pissed me off. I'm kind of getting to a point now where it's just irritating me, and it's not even funny anymore. So
Mark Cooper?
No, but that would be good. No. That I saw somebody say that they didn't want Damian Williams again because they were afraid Carlos Hyde was going to be the starting back. And I'm just so tired of hearing that I feel like I had to address it one more time before we go into the waiver wire, into the offseason. Carlos Hyde is nothing. He lost the starting job in Cleveland to a rookie. Couldn't win the starting job in Jacksonville with Leonard Fournette hurt. The Chiefs paid Damian Williams. They didn't invest in a running back. For the love of God, please pick him and do not think Carlos Hyde is going to be the starting running back in Kansas City. I had to say it one more time just for everyone listening because I heard it again.
If any of our listeners draft Carlos Hyde, he's going to clown you. Just let you know.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah, go ahead and draft him and watch what happens.
It's funny you say that because my dad and my brother, as Cameron and John, those that don't know, we're both in town here in Portland. And I was talking to Cameron, trying to get a sense of where he might go with that first pick. And without just blatantly reveal who he's going, we were talking about Damian Williams. And he's like, man, but I'm kind of worried that Carlos Hyde's going to get a lot of the carries since they signed him. Like, dude, did you not see the contract that they've offered Damian Williams? Like, these guys aren't messing around. This is the guy they definitely believe is going to be their guy.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I got that on there. I think I got that.
That's what she said.
No, you're right. I mean, what was it, like $5.5 million, $6 million, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for a running back, that's pretty solid for a guy who played 5 games, who started in 5 games last year. Carlos Hyde couldn't win the 2 jobs in Cleveland and Jacksonville without Leonard Fournette. He couldn't even get carries in either one of those places. So I do not want to hear Carlos Hyde taking Damian Williams snaps. I'm just tired of hearing it. I'm not going to address it again, because I feel like I've said it a lot, but just wanted to get that out there one more time. So,
well, Jameson.
Yeah.
Speaking of Damian Williams, I mean, my next little section, you have a little more time to figure out if you want to get him or this other guy.
Well, lead us in, Isaac. What are we talking about, man? This is complete, whatever we want to do for the next 45 minutes.
All right. So as a host, I just wanted to do a section that I wanted to talk about. That's not necessarily something we had planned out for months to do this episode. So I've always enjoyed like rapid fire, just quick questions, off the top of your head to figure out where your mind's at. So I got rapid fire. Who you got? I'm going to discuss some players that are pretty close production wise and have similar ADP. So we'll just go ahead and start with Damian Williams. We just talked about him, or Joe Mixon. So Pat, who you got?
I'm gonna go.
First guess.
Man, it is a little tough, but first, all right, just right. Damian Williams.
Jameson?
It's extremely close. I'm a little worried about Joe Mixon with the offensive line injury, and I love Damian Williams on that offense. So I'm going to go Williams, even though it's very close.
Damn.
Yep.
2 for
Yep.
Williams. I did
I
not
like
think
Mixon,
that was
though.
going to go that way.
Yeah. I like Mixon, though, but that just shows you how much I love Williams to pick him over Mixon.
And that he's available as a waiver wire pick. That's great value if you think he's going to be better than Mixon. I mean, Mixon was a 30-point guy in our league last year, so that's saying a lot.
And Williams, what did Williams average when take out the first 11 games when he was a backup? I think his true average was like 31 or something like that in our league over the past 5 games. 29, 30, 31.
I have it at
yeah.
work. I did the last couple games. I did the playoffs because, he was fantastic in the playoffs. So I did like an average of all those games. So I'll try to look it up tomorrow and let you guys know. So we might send it in the message after if anybody wants to know. But yeah,
it was 11 over the course of the season. But again, for 11 of those, he was a backup. So, throw those out.
Yeah.
So it was at least 30, I think, 31, something like that.
All right.
But yeah.
So next,
that's where I would go.
Next pairing, Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson. Jameson, who you got?
Oh man. David Johnson. That's
Pat?
what I'd go with.
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Oof.
Yep.
Pat, why are you picking Bell over Johnson?
Well, I think that, believe it or not, as an overall team, I like the Jets way more this year, and I think that does kind of breed success for running backs. And I know he gets a lot of trash for there's no receivers, that teams are going to stack the box against him. They did the same thing in Pittsburgh, man. Granted, there's no Antonio Brown-like receiver in New York to kind of take some pressure off of it, but I still think you're going to see Le'Veon put up great numbers. And David Johnson has that injury history, man. It does worry me a little bit. And until I see Kyler Murray, how that X factor plays out, it's hard for me to kind of go David Johnson over Le'Veon.
Wow. Okay. Well,
So
that's
for me, no, that's fair. The reason I chose Johnson is because I don't think Le'Veon's going to have the same production he had in Pittsburgh. I don't think the Jets offense can move the ball like the Steelers offense could. So I'm worried about his time on the field. And even in that down year, David Johnson was still RB9 in our league last year. Even in the worst year he's had, outside of the year that he was injured. And I think he's a great pass catcher. And I think I like the Cardinals offense more than the Jets, but that's just, again, that's a kind of a personal opinion. And Kyler Murray's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie.
Boogie, woogie, woogie. Well, off the top of my head, not off subject. Speaking of the Jets, I just lost to them in my Madden Super Bowl, which kind of really pissed me off. And what's even more ironic was you were talking about David Johnson's injury history. Well, Le'Veon Bell was injured, so they had like Elijah McGuire as the starting running back.
Funny.
But Sam Darnold picked me apart. Anyway, yeah. So that's interesting.
Sam
guys.
Darnold picked you apart?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh.
I had the Bucs secondary, so I got like Bernard Hargraves and like 3 rookies. So it's not very hard to pick that apart. Granted, I did have number 1 defense, but that's besides the point. All right, well, next guys, Nick Chubb and Leonard Fournette. So Pat, where would you go?
Ooh,
And I'm thinking just this year, not dynasty wise. Who you
game
like
to
better?
game?
okay.
Game to game or like over the season?
Over the season.
Like who finishes
Nick
higher?
Chubb.
Which guy would you rather have?
I'll take Fournette. I'll take Fournette.
Anybody want to explain why?
Well, kind of the same thing, dude. Like, look at Cleveland. Like, I really feel like they're probably one of the better teams in the NFC North this year. And they already had a good offensive line. I know people are worried about Nick Chubb losing carries later in the year, but I still think you're going to have excellent numbers up until that happens, which I think will be later in the year. And at that point, he's really killed it. Leonard Fournette, man, he's another guy. Injury, he's plagued by injuries. The offense looks just as bad as last year, in my opinion. I don't see them being any better.
You don't think they'll be better with Nick Foles and a healthy offensive line?
Nick Foles, get out of here, dude. Nick Foles actually had weapons in Philadelphia. He doesn't have anything in Jacksonville. If I'm a Colts fan, a Texans fan, a Titans fan, dude, the Jags offense is one of the worst offenses, or they're the one I'm least worried about in that division.
Boom.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely fair.
And I like
Boom,
the
roasted.
Jaguars. They're my number 2 team. They're my AFC team.
No, that's
and I'm saying that.
That's fair. Well, it's close to me between the Titans and the Jaguars offense. The Titans offense is complete trash.
Yeah, they're both pretty bad.
But no, I mean, I've heard a lot of good things. And again, I'm a Leonard Fournette owner, so this could definitely be bias on my side.
And Pat's a Le'Veon Bell owner in the other league, so I think he's a little biased there too.
Yeah. But I've heard a lot of great. The offensive line healthy. I trust Nick Foles way more than Blake Bortles. Leonard Fournette, his off the field things have me concerned a little bit. But after week 10, I just don't know what I'm going to get from Nick Chubb. I mean, it could still be the same Nick Chubb. That's completely in the realm of possibility. But it could also be splitting time with Kareem Hunt, which is also in the realm of possibility. So I just don't know. If someone offered me right now Nick Chubb for Leonard Fournette, I wouldn't take it. But I think part of that too is I think as a dynasty owner, about what will I get from Nick Chubb next season when Kareem Hunt's there all year, at least in theory. So I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong either way though.
Word.
If that makes sense.
All right. So next couple guys, we got 2 more sets of running backs. All right. So these are some potential breakout candidates. We got Marlon Mack versus Aaron Jones. So Jameson, who you got?
Marlon Mack. Even though he doesn't catch passes, Marlon Mack.
Pat?
Yeah, I'm with Jameson on this one. I'm hands down Marlon Mack.
Y'all hating on Aaron Jones, man.
I know. I mean, I like Aaron Jones, but I'm not as excited about him as Marlon Mack.
He doesn't catch passes. Like in what if it's a PPR league? You would still rather have Mack even though he can't catch passes?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn. Okay.
Definitely hands down.
So much for the conversation on that one. All right,
Not a lot of conversation. Well, we talked about them a couple weeks ago, I think, on the waiver wire episode, or last week maybe. So
I just thought that one. I thought that was a close one in my eyes. It's like one's got catching ability. They both can run the ball. I mean, Aaron Jones led the league in yards per carries. So I mean, I still thought it was going to be a closer argument, but the landslide towards Mack, then that's cool. I'll move on.
The thing with the Colts is you're getting Mack on the first few downs. Aaron, like the Packers, they run Jamal Williams for no reason. Like Aaron Jones is the more talented running back, but they haven't used him. He's been suspended. I just don't know what I'm going to get. I mean, I think he has a higher ceiling than Marlon Mack, but I'm not convinced that you should pick him over Marlon Mack.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, next guys are some potential sleepers. Yeah. We got Kick Carry on my wayward son Johnson, and then Kenyon Drake. So, Pat, who you got?
That's so tough, man. I'm gonna say Kenyon Drake. That's my guy.
Jameson, I know you're going to carry on Johnson.
I'm going to go carry on Johnson, man. I've been a carry on Johnson believer since he was in college, before he was drafted last year. Yeah, carry on Johnson. But it's close. It's very close. I like them both.
Yeah,
I like them both.
Yeah, I was on the fence for both of them.
Do you feel like both will have?
They both can get a lot of targets.
Yeah, true. Do you feel like they are going to be breakout sleepers this year?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I think Carrion would have been last year if he'd stayed healthy. I think he would have been a guy like that. But
Carrion was on track to be like an RB1, arguably.
He was fantastic. Kenyon Drake, now with the new coaching staff, if he catches passes again like he did last year, he'll be definitely fantasy relevant.
Okay,
I like him
fair
too.
enough. All right, battle of the.
Are we going to go through every single one of these that you have here?
I mean, we can. We cannot.
Just out of curiosity.
I'm enjoying the time.
Okay.
I mean, unless you got something else, we got nothing planned. So I mean, we're just talking about this guy or this guy. I mean, I try to, like I said, choose some guys that are really, really close to make it hard. That's what she said.
Oh God, you want me to play that? You want me to play it? I'll play it.
Yeah, play it.
That's what she said.
Okay.
All right. So, Battle of Juggernauts: Zach Ertz, George Kittle.
Zach Ertz.
Jameson, who you got?
Zach Ertz. No doubt.
Pat?
Yeah, I'll take Zach Ertz. I'll take Zach
Really?
Ertz.
I thought you were gonna be Kittle all day, Kittle.
Well, I think it's gonna be close, but I think, yeah, I'm gonna go with Ertz. I like the quarterback situation better in Philadelphia than I do San Francisco.
Yeah,
Yep.
same here. I'd rather have Wentz throwing me the ball than Garoppolo, and
Yeah.
the Eagles' offense is more potent than the 49ers.
Exactly.
Plus the history of
And-
Zach Ertz doing it year after year after year.
Yeah.
And George Kittle doing it once.
Zach
Yeah.
Ertz is probably, I think he's gonna be the number one tight end this year, and I think Kittle will probably end up being number 2.
So, ooh,
What about Travis
Ahead of
Kelsey? Ahead of Kelsey?
Oh, sorry. No, sorry.
about to
No,
say.
sorry. I was about to say, listen to me.
Whew.
No, I've got Ertz 1,
back it
Kelsey
up.
2. I got Kelsey 2.
Whoa,
and then
whoa, time
3.
out. So you got
Yep.
Ertz over Kelsey.
I do, man. I'm telling you. If
Okay,
Wentz-
okay. So
I know.
Jameson, Ertz or Kelsey?
I got Kelsey over Ertz, but I don't fault anyone who takes Ertz over Kelsey. But I got Kelsey over Ertz.
The way I look at it, Ertz is going to get his catches, and Kelsey's going to get his touchdowns. He's going to have more boom and bust than Ertz. But with
That's
the
why I like
whole
Ertz.
Tyreek Hill situation there, that's a lot of targets and
for sure.
touchdowns
Yeah.
that Kelsey can get, that he could even break out more than he already has. So that's why
Yeah.
it's like I was very shocked, because I thought
If it's
Kelsey was undoubtedly the number one guy. Otherwise, I would have put him in there. That's why I did 2 and 3. But
if it's close, I always my kind of next thing I go to is what quarterback do I trust more? Do I trust injury-ridden Carson Wentz, who I like, very talented, or do I trust Pat Mahomes, who is
Mahomes,
absolutely electric, 50 touchdowns? I mean, and he'll regress, absolutely.
50
But I'm still taking Travis
touchdowns.
Kelce.
hey, don't use electric. That's Kyler Murray's thing.
That's true. That's just Kyler Murray. I can't say that about Pat Mahomes. But yeah,
Making it up. All right, so a couple more offensive guys, and then we'll move to some defensive ones. This one I want to know personally, because I have one of these guys in one league and the other guy in the other league, but I don't know who I like better. So Stephon Diggs or T.Y. Hill?
is this whole part of your segment to get fantasy football advice for your fantasy leagues?
No, right?
like,
No.
I thought we were talking to the people here.
And I'm sorry, I meant T.Y. Hilton, not Hill. Sorry.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
okay.
Why are all these guys on Isaac's fantasy leagues? I'm just looking down the roster right now.
No, I don't have a lot of these guys.
Theoretically, week 1, would you start?
Ha. No, seriously. I want to know, because I mean, it's
so you
like,
said Stephon Diggs or T.Y. Hilton?
yeah. I mean, I trust
T.Y.
Luck more,
Yeah,
but I rather
T.Y.
I would rather have Diggs on there,
Ty.
because
Yeah, T.Y.
T.Y. Hilton has an injury history.
He
'Cause he's
does.
so little, but Diggs has been there. Even with a number one guy ahead of him, he still produces wide receiver 2
Yeah.
numbers.
But here's the thing though about Ty and about this comparison. I think, at least in my opinion, Stephon Diggs will never be a wide receiver 1, ever, unless Adam Thielen goes down. Even then, he might not be a wide receiver 1.
So
T.Y.
you don't-
Hilton can be a wide receiver 1. I don't think he will, but he can.
Yeah.
I think his games are bigger than Stephon Diggs. I think Stephon Diggs is maybe more stable. He'll give you, 18 to 20 points in our league every single week. But Ty in that offense, I got to pick him.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
So you never think Diggs can overtake Thielen on that offense?
He might be able to finish. Maybe he might be able to finish higher, but he will never finish as a wide receiver 1 in the fantasy football NFL again. If he ever did.
What
he didn't.
What about in the or when you guys are you thinking of a PPR league or a standard league, or both?
Either one, in my opinion. He's better in a PPR league, but either one.
Yeah, Diggs is going to get more catches than Ty. That's why I was just wondering if your opinions change or if it's going to stay the same regardless.
No, I still take Ty.
All right, fair enough. Well, we'll go ahead and move one more on for the offense, then we'll move on to the defense. So AJ Green or Keenan Allen, both
Allen.
have had injury history. Both are pretty well known as far as touchdown reliant guys. Not really much of 100-yard catch seasons. You rather have Allen, Jameson?
Yep. Allen.
Pat?
Yeah, I'll probably go with Allen on that one. I like the
Quarterback.
for sure.
The offense. The history of finishing as a wide receiver 1 in the past.
Talent-wise, take out quarterbacks. Who would you rather have on your team if you were the quarterback?
Just talent?
AJ,
absolutely.
Yes.
Especially in their heyday, like the best guy, like their best year against their best year.
Oh,
like,
dude, AJ beats. He's up there.
24-year-old AJ Green was a freaking monster. Freaking monster. Now he's what, 29, 30?
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Yeah. But Keenan Allen.
Okay, that's fair enough. I probably would have go Keenan Allen myself. All right, so that was the offensive guys. So we're going to try.
Wait. I see their last one here. I just want to say it. Amari Cooper versus Tyler Lockett.
Okay, I was going to skip it. I was going to skip it because I thought you didn't want to talk about it. But yeah, Amari Cooper and Tyler Lockett. Who would you rather have?
Amari Cooper. Absolutely.
What? Are you serious?
Yep, I'm serious.
Wow.
I'm serious.
That's kind of a shocker.
Just because he crushed me last year doesn't mean I can't respect that he would beat Tyler Lockett in fantasy this season.
Because, I mean, both are technically the number ones in their teams right now. They're both boomer bust guys, so I just didn't know which one would you rather have. I didn't think you were going to answer that. Otherwise, I would have asked it.
What do you think I just wouldn't answer on the show?
No, I thought you'd be like Lockett next.
No, definitely
screw Cooper or something like that.
No,
so Pat,
I mean, go ahead, Pat.
Who would you go?
I'm actually going Tyler Lockett, man. I like his situation, but he's literally the only decent player in that offense other than Russell Wilson.
So is that including you trust Wilson over Dak, or is that just pure talent wise?
Talent, I may take Amari Cooper actually, but if we're talking about like fantasy production this year, I'm more excited about Tyler Lockett.
And does your opinion change between standard and PPR, or is it the same?
What I like about Lockett is the fact that I feel like he's going to get a ton of the targets this year. So that may change if we're not talking PPR.
Okay, so PPR Lockett, standards, more open, probably Cooper.
Yeah.
Word. Okay, well, I'm glad you went back to that, Jameson, because I was really shocked. I just can't believe that you said that.
And me and Pat disagreed on almost all of them. So, if you listen to one of us, you're either going to go to the playoffs or fall apart. So, you pick.
And
I don't think it's going to matter. Most of these guys are going to finish very similar.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole. That's the whole point
close.
of this. A lot of the guys talked about on the comment section, like what they want to see, what they want to have our rankings. Well, we already have that scheduled for another episode, so we didn't want to go into that. But this is kind of like a sneak peek of what our personal rankings are with some of the highly talented players. So I just thought this would be kind of cool, very light conversation for this episode.
Cool.
So speaking of that, let's go to defense. So these, I was just going to do two, but they're all three so close. I couldn't do it. So I put all three. Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt, or Khalil Mack.
Is Khalil Mack a defensive end? Is that what we're counting?
Yeah. All these guys are defensive.
Khalil Mack.
Yeah, I'm going Mack.
Did you know J.J. Watt is averaged better, like, take fantasy out of it? He's averaged more sacks, more forced fumbles, more tackles for loss than Khalil Mack has in his career. Like, if you take their just the averages of all the years they've been active. And he's been more fantasy relevant than Mack, too. So that's kind of surprising you guys chose Mack over Watt.
Well, I think for me is that J.J. Watt's injury history. Even though he came back great last season, he's 30, 31. Khalil Mack's 24, I think.
No, he's older than that.
25? How old is he?
It's like I think he's like 26. I would ask Siri.
I'll put it this way. J.J. Watt, since we've done IDP in 2017 in this league, is the 5th leading scorer among DNs between all those years combined.
So he might lead,
And he missed a year.
and he might.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if you
he's only trailing by literally just under 100 points from number 1, and he missed an entire season.
Yeah, I mean, if you picked him, I wouldn't blame you for picking him. I mean, they're all pretty close, but I think I prefer the dynamic play of Khalil Mack.
So with that being said, you guys are just overlooking Aaron Donald, last year's MVP. I mean, is he just in a different tier, or is he just so far behind these guys, talent-wise, fantasy-wise?
No, not talent-wise. For me, in our league, in the LCC, where we don't value defensive ends as much, I don't like defensive tackles. It's just kind of something that's in my head. Normally, they're not guys that do a ton of pass rushing relative to other positions. So I just don't, it's so kind of boom or bust with him. Here's some games he had last year: 5 points, 8 points, 8 points, 8 points, 14 points, 14 points, 16 points. I just think I want a little more consistency. Yeah, exactly. But he's great. Again, if you picked him, I'm not going to blame you. I just think I like a little more consistency.
Okay. So with that being said, we got Danielle Hunter and Joey Bosa. Would you say either one of these guys are ahead of these other 3 guys?
Bosa, to me, is in the same group if he's healthy with the other 3 guys.
Really? Wait, so you compared Daniel Hunter and J.J. Watt? Did I hear that right?
No. We talked about Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt, and Khalil Mack. So I was just
quick
question.
You're talking about Bosa. Sorry.
Do you think Danielle Hunter and Joey Bosa are in the same category as the other guys, fantasy-wise, or are they tier 2 compared to the other 3?
That's a good question.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. For me, I think Joey Bosa is ahead of Daniel Hunter. By a good bit, actually. I put Daniel Hunter below J.J. Watt, and I actually put Joey Bosa right there with J.J. Watt.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. Because when I did the average for the seasons Joey Bosa played, he's like, from the guys that I did, he was like defensive line 6 or 7. Like, he doesn't average that high in real life stats, but he's been very fantasy relevant. Like Mack was ahead of him. I think Calais Campbell was ahead of him as far as real life stat wise. It just blew my mind when I did it. I'm like, there's no way. Joey Bosa's top 3 guy, but the physical stats don't lie. So it just really surprised me. So especially hearing you say that he's in the same as JJ Watt, who was the number 1 guy out of all the guys that I did that with. That's really shocking.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you, Pat.
Bosa missed almost the entire season. Between 2 years, he has 672 points. Daniel Hunter, who really hasn't been hurt, has scored 670. So that's kind of why I put Joey Bosa like significantly further ahead than Hunter.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'd rather have Bosa more than Hunter too. I just didn't think you were going to put Bosa as high as JJ Watt.
Yeah.
Like rankings wise.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
agree.
Well, okay. So that's the defensive line. That's the top 5 guys in my head. So I just thought I would just ask that question. So moving on to linebackers, Luke Kuechly and Bobby Wagner, the battle of the old mans. Who would you rather have? Take your Panthers bias out of it. Who would you rather have fantasy wise for this year, not dynasty wise?
Wagner or Luke Kuechly?
Yes.
Oh man,
Me personally, I would take Wagner. He doesn't get hurt that much. Luke Kuechly, he's had all the concussion issues. It just kind of makes me worried a little bit, especially with them moving to a 3-4. You don't know how his production going to skyrocket, or is it going to fall a little bit, or even stay the same. Wagner, he's still going to be in the same defense as he was all those years when he was the top 3 guy.
Assuming he doesn't hold out, because he's in a whole contract thing with the Seahawks. Assuming he doesn't hold out, I think I would take Wagner. Maybe. It's very, very close. I mean, their average was only a couple points apart, and that Luke got 0 points for the last game of the season because they benched the starters. So it's actually higher than that. So I mean, they're literally right next to each other.
I go Luke Kuechly, and you can say Panther bias, but I'm looking at it now. Between 2 years, 17-18, 2017 season and the 2018 season, Luke Kuechly, who was injured throughout those years, has scored 1,437. Bobby Wagner scored 1,548. Wagner really hasn't missed any games, and Luke's down by 100 points. So I'll take Luke Kuechly easily.
That's respectable. I mean, either one of those guys, you can't go wrong. They're still top 5 guys, but I just wanted to see which guys you would rather have. Well, this next pair had a little issue with me and Jameson because he said one over the other by a long shot, and that surprised me. So we got CJ Mosley and Blake Martinez. I mean, obviously, Jameson, you said that you love CJ Mosley this year and way ahead of Blake Martinez. Has your mind changed, or are you still on that?
No, I mean, I'm still on that. They're not in the same tier. And I've had both of these guys in fantasy, and they're both solid. But Blake Martinez, he is a solid tackler who can give you 30 points a game, but he's not getting picks. He's not dynamic. CJ Mosley, and for the longest time, he wasn't even the guy on his defense. CJ Mosley is the guy. And, if you throw out the 2018 season where the Ravens had the fewest defensive snaps in the entire NFL, CJ Mosley has been all pro. He's been a fantasy stud his entire career. So now with the Jets, a defense that's going to be on the field a lot, in my opinion, I'm taking CJ Mosley.
Yeah, I'm taking CJ Mosley as well. Blake Martinez, though, is the second leading scorer among linebackers since 2017. But CJ, I felt like that was kind of an anomaly season for him last year. I really believe CJ Mosley is by far a better linebacker, at least in our scoring setup in our league. If you go to a different IDP league, they may be more of an even playing field. But because of the way we award tackles and stuff like that, I really like CJ Mosley more because he's going to get you turnovers and tackles. Martinez is just going to get you tackles.
Mosley
Go ahead.
Mosley averaged 10 more points per game in 2017 than he did last year, which is more reflective of his career than 2018 was. So 35 points a game in 2017, 25 in a very, very down year in 2018. So I'll pick the career of CJ Mosley, the dynamic.
Go ahead and do
Here's
Blake Martinez's stats from this year and last year. I want to know his points per game.
Okay.
All right. Well, while he's looking at that, I'll tell you this. All right. Would you rather have CJ Mosley for this year, or would you rather have Blake Martinez for the next 2 years?
I mean, I like Blake Martinez more.
Can't trade him. You can't get rid of him.
I like Blake Martinez more. He's in our league. In our new league that me and Jameson are in, I would choose CJ Mosley, but Blake Martinez in this one, he's just too consistent and very, very solid. Like Pat said, he's one of second in the past couple of years as far as points for linebackers?
Second.
Exactly.
Yeah. Since we've done IDP, he's number 2.
And when you just look at those rankings, they don't lie. Yes, injuries happen, but Blake Martinez doesn't get injured that much, knock on wood, for him and for any Blake Martinez owner. But all right, so Jameson, have you had a chance to look up what he had?
Yeah, Martinez 2018, 32 points a game, 2017, 34 points a game. But 2017 was a lot more up and down. He had at least 2 or 3 games where he scored single digits, and he had one game with over 70 points in week 12. That was the year that I had him. But yeah, I mean, again, you can't go wrong with either one of them. But to me, CJ Mosley's in a different tier than Blake Martinez is. And if I remember correctly, our discussion, Isaac, off the show, it wasn't that I disagreed so much about them being way off. It was that you said CJ Mosley wasn't a first-round pick in our draft. That was what I was disagreeing with the most.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's coming back to me now.
When I look at the talent, I'm like, there's no way CJ Mosley's not a first pick if fall into our draft.
Yeah, because I mean, we don't have any talent in our draft, so yeah. Okay.
He'd be the first overall pick.
Absolutely. Yeah, he would.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely if Blake Martinez, which he will be a first rounder, but I mean Pat kept him in ours, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise he would have been a first round pick. So it's like if he's there, then CJ Mosley definitely would have been a first round pick. So yeah.
Yeah, either one of those guys would have gone first. In my opinion, whether or not Bryson takes him in our conference first is a different story. But in the other conference, I would believe either one of those guys would go first.
Oh, speaking of
Well,
drafting, when
I
we're
mean-
done, when Isaac's done, I'll ask you guys some questions about the rookie draft. Just don't let me forget. Don't let me forget.
All right.
All right.
All right. So I'm gonna hurry this up then. Two other guys, Joe Schobert, the underrated linebacker out of Cleveland. I was thinking out of the Browns. No, out of Cleveland. Then we got Roquan Smith. Joe Schobert's been consistent for the past 2 years. Roquan Smith's had a really solid rookie year, 30 points per game. Which guy would you rather have?
It's very close. I guess Joe Schobert. I don't really care either way.
Thanks, man. You didn't have to say that.
No, I mean, I didn't
I
mean
don't
it like
care about
that.
this question. That's a dumbass question.
No. I meant like if someone was like, "Hey, here's Roquan Smith," I'd be like, "Yeah, either one."
They're really
You know?
close. They are really close. I'll take Roquan because he's a little bit younger, probably has a brighter future ahead of him than Joe Schobert. But in this
I'm
year's
thinking
defense,
just this year.
their format, I've purchased some of this year, Joe Schobert. I love the fact he's literally one of two linebackers in the field at all times. I'm super excited about that. I really am looking forward to Joe Schobert this year.
And he's available.
And he was a Pro Bowler. Yeah, he is available. He is
Yeah.
available. And he was a Pro Bowler, what, 2 years ago?
Yep.
Something like that. I mean, he tackles well, which is important in our league. So
All right. So last pair of linebackers, we got Jordan Hicks versus Jalen Smith. Hicks was now with the Cardinals, starting middle linebacker, and then we have Jalen Smith out of Dallas. So which guys would you rather have?
Jordan Hicks.
Yeah, same here.
Really? I'd rather have Jalen Smith.
I like Jordan Hicks. His consistency over his career when he's not injured. Unfortunately, that's pretty consistent too.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But I love that he's on the Cardinals, a defense that could be on the field quite a bit. I think he's a sleeper this year that people are kind of overlooking. Is a guy like Jordan Hicks. I don't even know if we mocked him on the waiver wire, did we?
I don't know if we did.
We didn't mock. I haven't mocked any waiver wires. So
Well, I
I'm
mean,
not
like
sure
I
that one.
didn't mean mocking on the waiver wire, but like when we were doing waiver wire discussion, I don't know if we even talked about him, but he should be in there for a guy. I mean, he could easily be an LB2 in our league, easily.
In our other league, I picked Hitchens over Jordan Hicks, and Pat agreed with me that he liked Hitchens more.
Well, that league doesn't.
So-
That league doesn't care about tackles, which is all Jordan Hicks does. He's not going to get sacks. He's not going to get
exactly.
Interceptions or anything like that. So
Gotcha. All right, so that was it for linebackers. We got 4 more. We got defensive backs. No corners. Sorry, no love for you this episode. We got Keanu Neal versus Derwin James. Keanu Neal coming back for the injury. Derwin James after his breakout rookie year in not San Diego, in Los Angeles. Which guy would you rather have?
give me Derwin just because of his youth.
I mean, they're both
But
young.
again, either one, it doesn't really matter. But Derwin James after his rookie season,
You gotta stop saying that, man.
he was fantastic.
Doesn't matter.
No, what I'm saying is they're so close. There's not like a really defining feature that makes me want to pick one over the other.
Derwin James is more of a playmaker than Keanu Neal is. Keanu Neal is just more of a tackler machine. Derwin James he can make picks, he can do fumbles, he can make tackles. I mean, he sacks, he does everything. Neal's a tackle and forced fumble guy. So
Yeah,
for me, go ahead.
In our league, in our current setup, I go Keanu Neal over Derwin. But if we're talking in a league that's more of like a standard IDP scoring format, I would go Derwin because he does have that big playmaker ability, whereas Keanu Neal, not so much.
Well, here's the thing about Derwin that I like. He was, in his rookie season, mind you, he was incredibly consistent. So he averaged over 35 points a game, which is already good. He didn't have one game with less than 23 fantasy points. Not a single game with less than 23 fantasy points. And only one game over 49 fantasy points, which means that he wasn't boom and bust. He was like the Devontae Adams of safeties. Incredibly consistent, 30 almost you can almost guarantee yourself 35 points a week when you plugged him in, which is huge, and especially for a player like me
That's what she said.
who who enjoys that kind of consistency.
huge.
That's what she said.
So that's some thought, some insight there for me.
Okay. So that was the strong safety discussion. So now we're got a couple of free safeties here. Jordan Poyer and HaHa Quentin Dix. For me, I feel like it's lopsided, but I just want to see which one would you guys rather have?
Poyer's
It's Jordan Poyer for me, hands down.
is impressive. HaHa Clinton Dix being on the Bears is interesting, but this could be a defense that is plays so well, we may not see a lot of snaps out of HaHa Clinton Dix relative to Jordan Poyer.
Okay, so in a standard, IDP league, which one would you rather have? Jordan Poyer still?
Definitely HaHa.
Yeah.
No, if a standard league that emphasizes playmaking, HaHa Clinton Dix, absolutely.
Pat, you said Jordan Poyer?
Yeah. So Jordan Poyer.
Okay. At least we got some disagreement there. That means that I put it close enough. All right.
But here's how close they were in our league last year. I was going to say they're less than a point apart in their average from week to week.
Really?
Yeah, less than a point. That's how close they are. 6 and 9 in our league last year.
Look at that.
I think Poyer's a little more consistent, but again, that's because of tackles in our custom format.
All right. So we got Tyrann Mathieu and Demarius Randall. Which guy would you rather have?
For me, it's Matthew.
Ooh. Yeah.
Kansas
same
City's
here.
defense.
And this is in ours?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a standard.
Yes. I haven't thought much about it in a standard, but probably. Yeah. I don't know.
See, I would rather take Demarius Randall in ours because he's more of a tackler, and Tyrann Mathieu's more of a playmaker. So Tyrann Mathieu would be my standard choice, and then in our league, Demarius Randall would be the guy because he can also he's a playmaker because he was a corner, so he knows how to read the ball and read the quarterback. So he does get some picks for you. So I was kind of surprised that neither one of you guys even thought about Randall.
Yeah, I mean he's fine. I don't like I like them both.
All right. Well, last one of this section: Buda Baker and Jesse Bates III. In ours, and then just standard.
Oh man, I've loved Buda Baker for a long time. Plus, I don't know how I feel about Jesse Bates or Sean Williams being there because I think Williams is the guy over Jesse. I'd pick Buda Baker.
Standard.
Yes.
Okay. Pat.
I'll go Bates. In both. But it's close in both, honestly.
Well, now they're moving Buda Baker to free safety in Arizona because DJ Swearinger is going to fit in that strong safety role, which they've already came out and said. So the tackling opportunity for Buda Baker next year is probably going to be a little bit less, even though they still score a lot, defensive backs in Arizona. So I would still probably take Buda Baker in ours, but more of a standard. I like Jesse Bates. So I can see both you guys there. So, all right. So that was all my little section of who you got, who would you rather have. So Jameson, you want me to remind you about our
yeah
our recap?
Well, yeah. So the rookie draft was what, 2 weeks ago? I think now something like that. And
it was on the way for me to the airport. So I was trying to make a pick.
So we didn't get to talk about it at all. I mean, even Isaac was in Puerto Rico. We didn't do a podcast about it. So I just kind of wanted to look at it because there were some picks I thought were really good value, some picks that I thought were, not so great. If you guys have the 2019 LCC schedule up, not you guys listening, but our co-host here, we have a separate document for everything. You can see I plugged everybody in at their draft picks. Josh Allen, not the quarterback, but the defensive end, was picked by Peyton in the 15th round. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, because it was kind of like late in the evening,
I didn't see it at the time, but I saw it like during the week when I was just like looking at everything. I'm like, why the hell did he do that?
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was a little bit weird. I didn't know what you guys thought. Your guys' thoughts were on that, but also not to toot Miles Sanders in the 11th round. I got it. That's pretty good value. I feel like.
God.
Can't believe you guys let him slip to me there. Yep,
I
I'm going to do it.
cannot
Yeah,
believe-
that's right, Isaac.
I cannot believe McCole Hardman slipped to the 10th round, and that
The
DK
10th
Metcalf
round.
and N'Keal Harry were
That's
picked
crazy.
ahead of him. I thought that was insane, considering.
Pat, if Tyreek Hill doesn't play, that's great value for Patrick. That's fantastic value.
That's not great. That's freaking fantastic.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I
N'Keal
do-
Harry in the 8th round.
Go ahead.
What?
No, go ahead.
No, what are you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say one thing. I was gonna do a come on man for the top shotters draft, but go ahead, do what you're gonna do first.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that here in a minute. N'Keal Harry in the 8th round. I feel like that was solid value, considering what we've heard out of training camp with how bad he was in training camp so far. So we'll see about that. Kyler Murray in the 7th round by Peyton. At the time, I think we all felt like that was a little bit of a reach, considering
Not
the talent
me.
that was still on the board.
Not me, because
Not Isaac.
I sure as hell was probably going to draft him. I think I was going to pick him at the 8th slot, which he got him 2 picks ahead of me. So that was a very good job by you, because he sure would have been mine.
Yeah. Also of note, our first rookie draft day trade with me and Tyler. Tyler jumped up to get DK Metcalf because he was worried that he wasn't going to fall to him. And he was probably right, because he probably wouldn't have fallen to him.
Oh, bull. He would have been there later on. If McCall Harmon to the 10th, DK Metcalf would have probably been the 15th. Peyton could have got him.
Dude,
instead of
no
Gus
way.
Allen.
Dude, John was talking about getting him in the 8th round. I guess that's what Patrick was telling me. Or the 9th round.
Then they're crazy for picking DK Metcalf
Yeah.
over N'Keal Harry and McCall Harmon. That's crazy.
Oh, something else of note, Jonathan Abram fell to the 6th round in our draft. I thought that was interesting. He got
And
passed up on.
I think Pat just had to at that point, because we talked about him a lot.
You got to, exactly. At that point, the value is too good. You have to pay to at least find out, what's going to happen with him. So
See, I had other plans, and I couldn't take another DB because I went. I got 3 DBs there.
You got 3 DBs in the rookie draft, man. 3.
Yeah.
3
I got
DBs.
Darnell Savage in the 8th. Got Nasir Adley in the 10th, and Juan Thorne here in the 12th. I thought that was great value on me.
Normally,
I
it's
already
all,
have my starting 2 guys, and Jesse Bates and Justin Reed. So I feel like one of these guys is going to break out and give me some points.
3 DBs. And as expected, Devin White, number 1 overall pick in the rookie draft by Tyler, former, another Buccaneers fan.
Devon
Tyler, this is all Devin White wrong. And then, of course, we got Devin White to open up the show, which is just unreal. So that was very cool. And I told him that, too, in the message. I was like, hey, you were the first pick in our rookie draft. And so I think everyone it'd be really cool if they saw, if you guys did that for us. I don't know if he actually read all that part or not, but either way.
Probably not.
Probably not, but
check and ran.
either way. Josh Jacobson, Devin Bush, as we expected. So in the top shotas, these
All right,
guys only.
Let me
You
do
want me to
my
hit the
come on, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to hit the
One.
drop or?
Well, Hunter. I mean, I love this guy. Not Hunter, but the guy he picked. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside out of Dorman, out of Stanford, got drafted by the Eagles. He's projected, 3rd or 4th on the depth chart. I mean, I don't get why you spent a 15th round pick on him. I mean, yes, it's a late round pick, but you're basically saying, I'm going to cut this guy. But you could have got somebody better, especially with Miles Sanders still being there, N'Keal Harry still being here, Nick Bosa still being there. You picked J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I don't get it. And then
man.
you picked
Oh,
Devin,
my bad. I thought you were done.
and then you picked Devin Singletary ahead of Kyler Murray, ahead of Miles Sanders. Like, what the hell were you thinking, man?
Hunter's taking long
Oh.
shots. I mean, those are guys that, if they pan out, I think would do really well, but they're buried on depth charts right now.
Yeah, they're like super. Like, if Dynasty, like if you could have him for 4 years, yeah, that's a great pick. But he's not going to make the roster. So why spend a 13th or 5th round pick on somebody like that when you could have got Kyler Electric or
It's electric,
it's
boogie,
electric
woogie,
Murray? Yeah.
woogie.
I mean,
It's a lucky
Darnell
draft.
Savage, who's going to be the starting either free or strong safety for the Packers, who Quentin Dix averaged like between 29 and 31 points a game when he was drafted as a rookie. You'd rather pick Devin Singletary, who's behind LaShawn McCoy, TJ Yeldon, and Frank Gore? What? Come on, man.
You want me to play again since I messed up earlier?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Man.
There we go. I thought it was also interesting. We had a few different players picked in each conference. So in our conference, a couple of guys picked that weren't picked in theirs. Jermaine Pratt, linebacker in Cincinnati. We had one Thornhill, safety for the Chiefs. We had Marquise Brown, receiver for the Ravens. And then, as we mentioned, Josh Allen and Deebo Samuel was picked in our conference. And who?
Nasir Adley was it?
Nasir Adley. I forgot about Nasir Adley. He was picked.
Wait, timeout. He picked JJ over McCole Hardman, over N'Keal Harry. What? And DK Metcalf.
We already come on, man. Did we?
You already come on.
DK was not picked. McCole Hardman and DK.
McCole Hardman.
Yeah, and Marquise Brown were not picked in that conference.
That's nuts, man.
And then he picked JJ.
And running backs.
Oh my god!
They picked Damian Harris and Devin Singletary, who were not picked in our conference. So I thought that was interesting too. So definitely a different strategy there, but you can't complain about the value they got because only 3 guys participated. So I mean, to get Josh Jacobs, Devin White, these guys in the 3rd and 4th round. I mean, they're going to be. I was telling you guys that day, Mufali has taken over Cody as the number 1 threat in that conference, without a doubt.
He got Bush and Jacobs.
Yep.
Shots fired.
And Savage and Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Mm.
And N'Keal Harry.
Yeah.
And Bosa, just top it off.
Not only just to get them, but at the value he got them, now he has picks to use. I mean, Cody's going to be great. Don't get me wrong, he's still a great player. But the guys who participated stepped up because of the value they got these guys at. And the picks, the low picks they had to give up to get these guys.
Well, he stepped up. Hunter he got Devin White and David Montgomery. That's good. Great picks.
Hunter still did good.
Jonathan
Abram,
Abram.
in the 10th round. Jonathan in the 10th round. I mean, that's really good value.
Yeah.
Really good value.
But after that, it was pretty just like WTF. Like, what are you doing?
So real quick, what about Cody jumping in there with Damian Harris in the 16th round on the crowded New England depth chart? So that's going to be interesting to see how that pans
didn't
out.
make sense. I was thinking he was going to go a different route when he told me he was going to trade in to the rookie draft.
Well, as much as you guys talk about the Ballers in their podcast, I actually listened to one episode and they talked about Damian Harris, how he looks fantastic, how Sonny Michel got injured.
Yeah.
They don't really know when he's going to come back, and how Damian Harrison's going to be the guy that's going to start. And Michel, they would disagree and saying Michel's going to have to take his job back. And the other guy was like saying Michel already proved himself last year. He should be able to slot back in as the starter. So, it's interesting that Cody just took a waiver on a 16th round pick just in case to start the season. He's the ground and pound guy in the Patriots offense. I mean,
not a bad move. He buys him in a 16th round pick and gets to watch. Worst case scenario, he drops him and nothing, it is what it is. But he gets to pay a 16th round pick to at least be the first guy to get to find out. So not the worst thing that can happen, but you're right, Isaac. I listened to that episode. Was it last week they put that one out? Was that when they were in Chicago?
Yeah, it was live in Chicago.
Yeah, I was listening to that one. So we'll see what happens, but it is crowded. They got Rex Burkhead. They still got James White catching passes. Sonny Michel supposed to be healthy. At least recently, their latest stuff, I was listening to that, but we'll see what happens. But that was it. I just wanted to kind of review that a little bit because I thought there were some interesting things. Guys that weren't picked, Taylor Rapp, Montez Sweat, A.J. Brown, Paris Campbell wasn't picked in either one of these. So we'll see what happens as we move forward. But guys, we're about 55 minutes. Anything else you guys want to cover? Free ball?
I'm good. I already got all my stuff out the way. So you guys help me set my fantasy lineup.
Exactly. Isaac got all his fantasy advice for the rest of the offseason. He's good to go. Pat, anything from you, man?
No,
You're just gonna you got any fantasy advice you need for a
no,
quote unquote
I'm
friend?
good on mine.
No?
But
Okay.
just all of you should know this already, especially those of you listening. Off-season waiver wire starts Friday. Make sure you're ready to go. Obviously this thing could end way earlier than the schedule shows. And for those of you that don't have a waiver wire pick in, don't forget, if you really wanted to, you could trade into the waiver wire by trading away one of the players on your taxi squad for, let's say, a draft pick. Or if you'd be crazy, but if you cut one of your taxi squad players, then you could enter. But those are some of the options you have if you're wanting to get in and you don't have any available space. So just food for thought there. And but good luck to everyone.
Yep. And real quick, I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think in our next couple episodes, we've got all of the positional rankings that we're going to discuss over the next couple of weeks. So this was kind of as Isaac mentioned, a preview to this, kind of who we would pick over the other guy. So we're excited to bring that to you. I know people have requested that over the last few weeks, so we're super excited about that. Look forward to doing that, and I guess we'll see you guys then. Take it easy.
Peace.